I really appreciate that because yeah, there's that part of me that's like, "Oh, I don't wanna spend the money to get the groceries delivered," but knowing that it's just temporary feels a
Mhm,
lot better. So how do you balance it all? Because,
mhm,
I just thinking about myself, like I wanna exercise every day. I'm one of those people who, like, if I don't move my body, like, I just go crazy, right? I have to move
mhm.
every day, even if it's just, like, a 20-minute walk around the block. So how do you balance it all? Like getting the work done, taking care of yourself physically like that, and taking care of a baby.
So balance is a tough word because it's not gonna be completely balanced each day, but when you look at the bigger picture, are you finding balance? And thinking about, like, what's the season of life you're in? You may say, like, "Okay, this is great. My movement and my exercise today is walks alone or walks with my child in the stroller." That doesn't mean that the next season or when you have more time, like, you'll do other types of workouts. You might, for you, Kris, like you'd be like, I'm recording a bunch of podcasts right now. It's my season. Like the next few months, I'm recording some podcasts and then I'm not recording for a while. So I think sometimes we have to look at like what season we're in and how we can like balance within that season. I think giving ourselves permission to take a break. How many times do we sit down? I know this happened to me the other day where I was feeling tired and I was like, I have to write this content. I have this journalist that wants me to, complete this essay. I have a deadline. I was like, if I sit and stare at my computer right now, I'm going to sit and stare at my computer. Like it's not coming to me. Let me just put my toddler in the stroller and I'm going to go for a walk. And then the next day, because I thought I would work that night and I didn't, I was like, I just needed that break. It flowed. So I think sometimes giving ourselves permission to take a little bit of a break and then knowing that that energy and that clarity is going to come.
I really appreciate that of it's not balanced every day, but if you look at it as a whole, it really is
Mhm,
balanced. And I appreciate the seasons too, because you're right. Like I don't need to record a podcast every single day that there's childcare.
mhm.
That's super smart. And I think sometimes it takes a third party to be like, well, you don't have to do all of these things, right?
Yeah. And I think
So
another piece too, sorry, I think
no,
another piece too is like thinking about like within your household, like what kinds of things can you let go of that might not be perfect? Like, okay, there might be some dishes in the sink. Or do I like how can I get like other support? And one thing that I've told people is, like have like this groceries delivered for a season. If you have a busy season, something else you're working on, maybe you have some work deadlines, maybe like we're coming into summer and I know like here I live at the beach and other kids are super active, parents are active, they're driving their kids everywhere. Like maybe the summer you just have your groceries delivered. Doesn't mean it always has to be that way, but it's okay to get outside help too.
I really appreciate that because yeah, there's that part of me that's like, oh, I don't want to spend the money to get the groceries delivered, but knowing that it's just temporary feels a
Mhm,
lot better, right?
mhm.
Um, and yeah, there's that inner perfection too, where my husband was just saying this. He's like, "Why don't you nap when the baby naps?" I'm like, "If I napped when the baby napped, the bottles would never get cleaned. Like I wouldn't eat, right? Like